Hey, welcome to the old Build With Baer Workshop. My name is Pat Bear. I'm here to build a model kit and hang out with all of you. I'm throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego, to the site emote in the chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can try with those emotes. We're starting 1 minute before I normally would because we got raided. Ned Sweater is here, raiding with Party of 7. Welcome, friends. Hello to the old Build With Baer. If you are unfamiliar with me and my whole thing, I built model kits and Lego sets, and then once a week I play like a video game or watch old wrestling or talk about anime. I mean, I talk about anime every stream, but specifically talk about seasonal anime and do like a wrap up. Harold's throwing the emotes in there. Yeah, if you're currently a subscriber, you can follow the emotes. If you are a tier 2 subscriber, you have the brand new blue emote, which is me as Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan. And then everybody else has the Bear Cave, the Lego, and the Death Scythe emote. Death Scythe emote, newly released for Tier 1. And I could just click it that I wanted to be Tier 1 instead of Tier 2. I didn't have to delete it and resubmit it, which is nice. But yeah, welcome everybody to our regulars, to our new friends. Thank you to whoever renewed their sub. I'm going to see if you put a notification in, if I get a ding there. And we can all say thank you, but I did see that somebody did indeed resub or subscribe, and hopefully we'll see that notification pop up. If not, that's also okay. But I'll go ahead and change the number to 40 because somebody did do that, which is cool. So now instead of trying to hit 40, we got to go to the big number of 45. So we got a new goal. 40 is great. Love to be at the number 40. 40 is a fantastic number. Now, we're going to get into model kit building. Maybe later. I might finish this Lego set tonight and have to start a model kit. I don't know. Because we're building it's always fun. Here we go. Last to subscribe with Prime. That was the renewal there. So we're going to hit the old applause there. Hit some applause for Lashbrook. Thank you, Lashbrook. Subscribe 55 months on a 55-month streak, saying 55 for SSGSS. Indeed. Fives look like S's. Thank you very much for 55 months. That's so many months. It's just ridiculous. Because, like, Jim is at, like, 53, and Harold's also at 55, and these are, like, that's as many months as you could subscribe. Like, literally, like, these are day one, and like obviously Jam 53, no scoffing there. That's early. That's like ground floor of, oh, Pat is now an affiliate. I'll subscribe to that. Cool. And that's just remarkable and wonderful, and I appreciate that. Thank you very much for your continued support. So yeah, we're working on the Jesko. It's spelled with a J and pronounced like a Y. The Jesko. You can see we got the front on here. We might finish this tonight. I don't know. I have a model kit ready to go next that is... Normally my $10 patrons vote on what I build next, but I just want to build this kit next. It's the new Gundam entry grade. Because I want to build a new Gundam. I want to build and not a brand new Gundam. I mean the NU, the new Gundam. It is also the newest entry grade, and I want to build it because I want to find out if this is the new entry grade that I tell people should be their first kit, or if it's still the RX-782. So, from a standpoint of somebody that wants to educate as well as entertain, I really do want to build that kit. So we're building it next, even though it hasn't won a poll. My $10 patrons vote on what I build next, and they've never voted for it. But I just want to build it, so I'm cheating. Because it's my birthday month, and I'm going to cheat. Bobby's here saying, hi, Pat. Hi, Bobby. And Lord Crashington is here saying, hey, Pat, weird internet day. Yeah, we're going to talk about that. There's some stuff to talk about with that. I had, like... I was sitting there thinking of like, oh, what are we going to talk about tonight? Because I usually come up with like some things to chat about. And I had like some ideas of some things. Like we were going to talk shit about Elon Musk. And we still will. Sharks2K just subscribed with Prime. That's 20 months. Thank you so much, Sharks2K. Really appreciate that. We got a hype train going. Thank you very much for that. Let's hit the applause. and then we can go ahead and throw some emotes in the chat. Thank you very much, Sharks2K. We are now at 41 out of our 45 goal here, trying to get up to 45. And it is a hype train. So if you want to get involved in this hype train, you could gift a sub to somebody in the community. You could subscribe yourself. You could do bits and coins. You also don't have to, and it's okay if you don't. Anyway, I'm going to reply to my own tweet, see if we can get a few more friends to join us tonight. We've got some friends that came in thanks to the raid, which is awesome, and early raid is great. So we're going to get going on building this Lego set, and then we're going to talk shit about Elon Musk, and then transition into talking respectfully about an announcement that shocked a portion of the world. It might be a small portion, but it did shock some people, and for other people that went, yeah, okay, yeah, okay, oh, okay. So let's go to the overhead here, working on our kit. I apologize if there is camera shake. I don't know what's going on with that. It shouldn't. We shouldn't have any camera shake, but we do occasionally have camera shake. When the table moves, the camera moves, and it shouldn't. It shouldn't move when the camera moves, or when the table moves. I think I have to weigh down this table more to get it to stop moving around. I don't know. Sharks2K says, I made this Lego set. Super fun. Great use of unexpected pieces. There's one piece that I haven't talked about yet that came with this kit, and I don't know why. I don't know why it came with this kit, and I am interested to find out what it's supposed to do. But I've seen it, and I'm like, this is weird. So let's start with saying, very funny. Elon Musk sent like a letter, like from his people, to the Twitter board, being like, hey, look, I think I've got a case for like not doing this because obviously I keep asking for this information. Did you turn on the opposite of image stabilization? Harold just cheered 100 bits. Thank you so much, Harold. We did, the hype train did close, but thank you very much again for that. Oh, it's close. A hype train is close. We haven't hit the hype train yet. We're on our way. It's then close. It's close. Thank you very much for those 100 bits. Appreciate that, Harold, at the top of the bit given leaderboard. So here's the deal with Elon. He sent this letter being like, hey, I keep asking for this data because I got to find out if they're like bots. And now when he talks about bots, he's not talking about like follower bots that people pay for. 100 bits for Lord Crashington, and also that sound means that the hype train is happening, so we got to do the cha-ching. Thank you very much, Lord Crashington, for those 100 bits. Welcome to the Bitsud leaderboard. We are now on officially in a fucking hype train, and Lord Crashington wants me to hit the ska button, so I will. Thank you for using your channel points. And then Harold wants me to ring the bell. It's a ska hype train, and then I rang that bell. Thank you for using your channel points for the bell. Dirty's here. What's up, Dirty? All right, let's keep putting Lego stuff on here while I talk about the nonsense that is Elon. Harold just cheered 25 more bits. Thank you so much for those bits. Hell yeah. Cha-ching. Appreciate it. I will be putting Lego on this, and I will talk about this nonsense. Anyway, like I said, Elon was like, hey, I think you have bots that like inflate how many users you have. Like, that's my thing. So, this doesn't seem right. And one would assume that his intentions are that he would like to negotiate the price because Twitter's price has gone down, stock price, and also Tesla's stock price has gone down, and he'll have to make up that difference of worth on his own because people will probably not bail him out to make up that difference for the amount that he has gone into contract with selling. Now, do I want Twitter to be sold to Elon Musk? No. Do I like that they are dragging their feet and holding his feet to the fire and wasting his time and making him feel like dunked on? Of course I am. I'm so pleased about that. It's wonderful that that he's being just thoroughly dunked on by them. Let's see. They said, we believe this agreement is in the best interest for all shareholders. I disagree with that, but also like where this is going. We intend to close the transaction and enforce the merger agreement at the agreed price and terms. So basically, he could just eventually just be like, no. He's looking for like them to be like negotiate or back out of the deal, I guess. But they're apparently not going to blink. So that comes down to him blinking. And he might just say, I'm not doing this. You're not bargaining in good faith. And I guess pay them some money to make it go away, or he'll have to go to Delaware and deal with it. And the real honest thing, the only thing about this that, because a lot of things suck, right? The thing about this particular thing that does suck is that Delaware isn't going to try to, like, Delaware doesn't want to fuck with Elon Musk or have anything to do with Elon Musk. Delaware doesn't want to get ratioed because of Elon Musk. So, like, they're probably not going to do anything if it goes that far. One would assume it won't go that far. But again, who knows for real what's happening with all of this. But anyway, in the same thing, Elon Musk getting dunked on just pleases me to no end. Yes, Texas is going to investigate Twitter on behalf of Elon Musk's feelings. Like, this is clearly somebody who is trying to get on Elon Musk's good side, which is obvious that is what's happening here. And we should say, what a waste of everyone's time. We all know that there are bots. Twitter knows that there are bots. And here's the real thing. Republicans need those bots and use those bots. They don't want bots to go away. They get mad at... You can know when Twitter is going after bots because Republicans will complain about their numbers going down suddenly out of nowhere. Oh, my numbers went down because they were bots. They weren't real people. So, like, they're happy about those bots. This is just somebody, instead of investigating police misconduct in his state, it's just like, yeah. I also think that the people of Texas deserve to know what Twitter is up to. And it's like, first off, why? Why would that be something that you care about? We completed a hype train. Enjoy. Thank you, everybody. If you got some emotes, thank you for helping out. If you didn't get any new emotes because you've already been part of a hype train before, also thank you in general. But thank you for people that are subscribing and the bits. As always, your money goes into me buying model kits so I can keep doing this so that you can watch me do it. That's how it works. It would be great if Elon Musk bought Twitter to make it an exclusive platform for dunking on him. I mean, yeah, it's going to be... I mean, that's what... more of what it will be. Anyway, again, it's just hilarious. It's very funny. Like, I don't care about shares of a company. I hope people who are working, like, also, I would love this to be done with, because I would like people who have been, let's say, what's a good term for this? I'm going to go with people who have been, had an increase in their confidence about what they can fucking do and say on a particular website. I would love for those people to get mad as well, because they are pretty sure that they can say, just like, be hateful and shitty because Elon's going to own the place. And so I would love for those folks to feel pressured to fuck off. That would be great. So let's hope that is indeed what's happening. Anyway, I'm going to transition to talking about a thing that I think some of you figured I would talk about. And that is the news that effective today, Jeff Gerstmann is no longer at Giant Bomb. And he has said that he will be talking about it on the podcast tomorrow. So Jeff Gerstmann, on his first day, not working for Giant Bomb since its inception, will be a guest on Giant Bomb. So I'm very happy. I hope that he has a great time guesting on that podcast. I hope they talk to him ahead of time about saying that he can swear, so he won't have to ask during it. Always okay for me to swear, and he knows that it is fine. Hope he's got some games to talk about, and they're different from the games that people who are normally part of that site play, because it's always nice to get a different perspective from a guest. I wonder if he has anything to plug. It would be nice to hear about that. He said he would talk about it on his Twitch. Then maybe I read that tweet wrong, but I will go and look at that tweet. He was plugging but let me look at that. I might be wrong. Today we'll chat about it for a bit tomorrow. Follow me on Twitch. So I guess I read that wrong. I assumed that meant that he would be a guest on the Bombcast, and he would talk about that on the Bombcast. But instead, perhaps he is running counter programming. I thought that was, hey, today's my last day at Giant Bomb. Weird. Maybe we'll chat about it for a bit tomorrow. Follow me on Twitch. I did not realize that would be counter programming. I assumed that meant that he would talk about it on the website as a guest. So don't take my word for either of those things. Follow him on Twitch, I guess, is the thing you should do. And don't listen to me about that. I guess I read that wrong. I assumed that he meant tomorrow, he meant there, and that the follow me on Twitch was a separate conversation. But perhaps he doesn't want to do it. Perhaps he'll just do it there. Also makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. The GB Twitch live chat is running a timer that ends tomorrow morning at 9 CST. You might have been conflating that with the news story on GB that said they would talk about their future plans on the Bombcast tomorrow. Yes, so I probably conflated that. I am interested in what 9 core members means for Giant Bomb. Because I can't think of 9 people. I can think of several people there, but it's not 9, and I am curious about what that means. Yes, Jatsu, I am a Super Saiyan. I am a Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan, and that is my new Tier 2 emote, is me as a Super Saiyan. Now everyone can use the Scythe emote in Tier 1, because I got a brand new emote, thank you, to Xandra, who I met through the Giant Bomb community, the greater Giant Bomb community. For folks that are like, hey, wait, yeah, Pat, what is up with that? The shortest story of this is, the One-Apocalypse happened. The One-Apocalypse happened many moons ago, where OneUp.com laid off everyone there that I liked and basically put all of their podcasts into stasis. There were a few people that stayed that I also enjoyed, but the majority of the people I liked were suddenly not on that website. And suddenly I didn't have podcasts to listen to. So a good friend of mine, Porter Mason, shout out to Porter, gave me the suggestion that I check out. UGO was also owned by Ziff Davis. They went with the cheaper one. They focused on the cheap one. Anyway, my buddy Porter Mason suggested that I check out Giant Bomb. Now, I had never been a game spot person, so I was not as familiar with Jeff and Ryan and the other fine folks in their ilk. I was just not super familiar with GameSpot because I was a one-up person because I had friends that worked there and people that I admired over a long period of time. And that was the gaming website I went to. Also, Chris Kohler, a childhood friend of mine, was on Retronauts, which is the second podcast I ever listened to, but a big reason I got involved in the other podcasts because I started following them. There always needs to be Jeff talking about games. Indeed, Tony, there does. Anyway, so I started listening, very much enjoyed my time. Started to get to know the friends and the various peoples. Was very pleased one day when it was announced that somebody I knew from 1UP and liked from 1UP had joined, being Patrick, because I am part of the people that knew who he was and were happy that he joined instead of unhappy. I was part of that club because I liked him from news and I liked him from podcast stuff. So I was just like, hell yeah. But yeah, followed for many years. And then a thing happened that was fucking cool, which was through friendships that I started developing with Harmonix, which was in part because I was friends with people on Twitter, which was in part because I was friendly with some Giant Bomb folks. I started becoming more friendly with Giant Bomb folks. And then they kept saying yes when I kept asking them to do things like panels. Hey, welcome. Happy to have you here. Welcome, Afro. They kept saying yes when I would invite them to be on things and do things. Oh, we got a lot of stickers to put on this right now. We're doing a lot of these stickers. I don't think there was a single person who worked at Giant Bomb that I do not enjoy their work. So here's the thing, right? While I do understand that personalities, I remember the other Brad. I remember News Brad. Part of the joke that people don't remember about Brad being the anime editor is that there was another Brad who did news before Patrick and Austin. That Brad did news posts, but he also worked for Anime Vice. So there was an anime Brad, and it's very funny to me that people are, don't remember the other Brad. But yeah, so the real thing, this will be short because I want to tell my anecdote here. I understand why people have favorites. I don't enjoy when people are like, I don't like this person because it meant, if you didn't like someone because it meant that other people that you did like weren't going to be on as many podcasts or weren't going to be on as many videos, I do have a problem with that. If you don't vibe with a person, that's human nature. I understand. If you didn't feel it, I get that, and I appreciate that. Some people didn't like the vibe of Whiskey Media, like the Whiskey Media happy hour, because they're like, I don't know who these Comic Vine people are. They don't seem to want to be there. They didn't. These tested folks are fun, I guess. And then eventually people will be like, oh, no, wait, yeah. Hey, it's Alex, so we get to see Alex. That's fun. Tony is cool. They seemed really busy because they were two people, and they were legitimately, to me, I said legitimately, I shouldn't have there. The most legit people in Whiskey Media were the Comic Vine people, because they were doing a service that people appreciated. They were their reviews meant something to people who would never going to learn about Giant Bomb or Tested or Screened. They really did that database was a thing that people really cared about. And I do feel that the Whiskey Media Happy Hour was they were taking time out of their schedule and were oh, I have so much to do because we are understaffed. That was always my feeling on that. I don't know if that is true or not. I can't say. This is conjecture on my part, and I will try not to do too much conjecture on that. But that is that's the thing. Anyway, I started getting to do cool stuff with those folks. Part of it was that I was I became friends with people they were friends with, and then also I asked, it was at PAX. They were already going to be at PAX. Ryan saying yes was huge. That opens the door for me to start asking other people to do it. Then they do it. That makes it easier for me to ask other people to do things because I already have. And then it's then I can be Brad, I know you don't enjoy public speaking at conventions, but I would love to have you on the panel. I haven't asked you yet because I know you don't enjoy it as much as other people enjoy it. What about it? You ready for it? Or like, hey, I'm doing more with this wrestling thing. How about we do other things? How about we go see this? How about we do that? Like, hey, I've got this improv panel, and I know that some of you are not improvisers, but you are funny people. Do you want to do this nonsense panel that I'm doing? Here's an explanation of how it will work. It's basically a short form game that we play for too long. It was allowed me, their generosity in making time for me allowed me to keep doing things that I was very interested in doing. And then I hope also, the thing I always hope is, I gave them a creative outlet that was not a panel where they had to talk about video games. And they could do other things and show other sides of who they are, which I like to do. Well, Harold, yes, indeed. Because, yeah, you wanted to come see that. Asking is the first step. It's why Dan had so much cool stuff happen. I mean, Baldridge, Dan is a unique individual in that I shoot my shot, but my shots are calculated. Like, they're not just out of the dark. Like, they're not out of the blue. They're like, hey, I met you at this thing. We know each other from this thing. Or, hey, I got your contact info from this person. Can we talk? Hey, you might not know this, but I do a bunch of panels at conventions. We should chat at some point. I do that kind of stuff. Dan is just like, Oscar Mayer Wiener truck. Let me drive you into a building. And then they don't say yes, but he asked, does he have a contact at the Oscar Mayer Wiener people? No. Did he ask them? Cold shots? Yes. That's Dan. Dan and I are different. But we do still shoot our shots, and I do appreciate him. But yeah, I will say I have an internet following because I have a following. Dan is different. Period. I have a following through what I did in the New York comedy scene. Gave me a little bit of a following on the internet. And then, I mean, I'm verified on Twitter because I was somebody that worked at a hot comedy theater and got approved. I still don't know why I got approved, but I think that's the reason I got approved, and that's why I have the check mark. I don't think it was because of PAX stuff. But also, I do a bunch of stuff at conventions, and I only get to do that. I got the panel in New York. The very first panel is because I put Ryan Davis on the list, and then people were like, hey, are you actually on this, or is this person just trying to use your name? And and Ryan was like, no, I'm doing it. Pat's funny. I don't know what the panel is because I haven't read his message about it, but he's funny. And then they checked in with the other guests, and then they approved it because they wanted Ryan Davis to want to keep coming to PAX. And then I got to do cool shit, and I get to keep doing cool shit because I'm part of a weird collective of people that do odd things at PAX that people seem to like, which is nice. I'm not going this year, but you get it. All right, we got to put more stickers. Basically, we got to put the inverse of these on this side. So 7 and all that. Do it like we just did. I'll just do it like this then. We just got to put some stickers on here. We got to put all these stickers on. Anyway, that is to say, I like Giant Bomb. I tweeted about this. Giant Bomb is important to me as it gave me a community that I quickly found myself in. Being a friend of the site feels good, and I enjoy that. I like the people. I'm slightly annoyed that I have not met Jess in person because she's the only Giant Bomb person I've never met in person. And I would like to because she's cool. And I knew of her before she got in there. Jan, I didn't know who Jan was. Jan is the only person that has joined Giant Bomb that I did not know. I knew Ben because he interned at Giant Bomb. That's the only reason. I knew Abby because she was a manager at the Magnet Theater in New York. I knew her from the world of comedy. When it got announced, I was just like, Abby Russell, I know who that is. I think we're already Facebook friends. Weird. But like, yeah, this is the only person is Jan that I didn't know before Giant Bomb. It would at least in passing. Like I never met Jason before Giant Bomb, but I knew who Jason was because I was like aware of some of Game Informer stuff. So I was like aware of him. But like I wouldn't say that like I like knew him personally. We hadn't met in person. But yeah, it's weird. Jess is the only one that I haven't met yet, and I would like to. But yeah, Jan and Jess had a million lives before joining GB. Indeed, totally. It's very, they both have worked a lot. Here's the thing: Jess also not in New York currently, but was doing comedy in New York. There is a good chance that if she hadn't joined John Bomb, I would have met her at some point because before everything went to fuck, I was working at a comedy theater that had a lot of young people coming through, and I probably would have teched a show of hers at some point because she's doing comedy stuff. She's doing more video, but like she would have ended up on, at least at some point, I would have met her, probably in New York, at some time. It's a big city, but it's still a small community. You found out about me due to Giant Bomb community, especially the community endurance run. Oh, nice. Yeah, I feel bad that I've only done that officially once because it's the same. It's usually either the same weekend or it's like one weekend before or after the Plamo Weekender, the Plastic Model Weekender. It's right around the same time, and I can't do two charity events in the same month. I just really can't. But yeah, I'm the dude who keeps doing too many push-ups. Hell yeah, Jatsu. It's probably bad for my health. Yeah, I mean, it's an incentive that encourages people to give you money, so it's great for the kids, but it also is tough for you as a person. So, yeah, one year I was able to donate a bunch, which I was very happy I was able to do it. I did visit the Beast Studio. Alex did a charity stream, and I joined him for that. I also joined The Office, and Dan and I worked on model kits, but his model kit was incomplete because I think I've never actually fully understood what happened. I think someone sent him the space pod for Vegeta and didn't send him Vegeta because it was missing parts. So I think someone sent him an incomplete kit, or he lost them. But he lost every piece that was for Vegeta, and that doesn't feel right. But yeah, I did that, which I was very happy to do. I've done some Waypoint, jumped in for some Waypoint charity things. I still can't believe that. I talked about this before, that everyone that I was with on one of those Waypoint streams was like, hey, we want to go take a photo. Pat, hold down the fort. And they just left me there. And I didn't have any controls because I was on the couch, so I couldn't do anything. And I wasn't playing the game. So I just sat there and ranted about like treating people with respect, I think, because it was helping a trans charity. So I think I was just talking out of my ass until they came back. And I always like, after I was done, I was just like, hey, you guys just, left me there. Like, yeah, you're a pro. And I was like, I mean, I am a pro. I'm a professional. And I was a streamer at that point. But I was still like, hey, what happened? Oh, yeah. The very first year, that was not a charity event. That was the, hey, we're a thing. Also, hey, Para. Yes, we were. That was their like 72-hour, like, hey, we're a website. And I was like, do you want me to come in? At that time, I was walking distance from Vice Studios in Brooklyn, and they were like, yeah, come on. And I was like, I'll do whatever. They're like, yeah, do you want to do like a late night thing? Patrick's probably gonna play bad video games. And I was like, yes. And then they played Harvester, and the chat, and I couldn't read the chat that well because my eyesight's not great. And there were like enough people in the chat being like, it was a thing. It's a bad video game. But I did call it that the Mortician worked on the game, and it turned out to be the lead creative on the game was the Mortician, because he was a different kind of bad actor. And turns out later, a bad actor. Both a bad actor and a bad actor. But yes, I had a lot of fun doing silly nonsense with all those books, genuinely. But yeah, I mean, over the years, I've gotten to interact with a lot of cool people through that. Like doing my friendships with harmonics folks definitely had something to do with being a person they like recognize as being cool through Giant Bomb, which then fed into me doing more stuff with them, which then fed in directly to me doing stuff with League of Heels. What would become League of Heels at the time was just PAX Wrestling, because we didn't think it would become something. Hey, Jam, welcome. And I guess all of this is to say, I hope things are okay for Mr. Gersman. I hope he gets to spend time with his family. I mean, he does live with them, but I hope he gets to spend a lot of time with the wife and kids. I hope he gets to do something that he's excited about and has energy about, and he has that part of his life where he is excited about it. We are not going to speculate. We don't do speculation. We can say, I don't think that... I think... I will say this. I will speculate this. Not about him or what's going on. I will say, if he was going to join Nextlander, he would have quit sooner, and they would have announced it last week during the week-long announcements from Nextlander. So I don't think he's joining Nextlander. That being said, I don't know what he's doing next. I'm excited for whatever he does next. I'm interested to see what the old GP folks are going to announce tomorrow. It's so weird to think that, like, one of the pillars of that site is, like, is the video team. When you think about how many people at Giant Bomb have been video producers, and now most of Giant Bomb is video producers, that's so weird. It's so strange. Yeah, I think you will. I mean, sounds like another week of playing Burnout Paradise. Indeed. I hope he finds something he's really excited about. People should be throwing money at him. The same people that you're like, oh, that's nice that this person sent a message to him on Twitter. Oh, that's nice. That's nice that this person who, like, high up at this place said a nice thing, even if he also has said some weird things about other things lately, like a newsletter about his cats and maybe a dog that he would, if he had a dog, what he would do with that dog. And you're like, okay, but like, they also should be like sending him text messages going, okay, so what's up? You working from remote? You working from, like, at the very least, Jeff Gersman's going to be doing some, like, if he wants, I think he never cashed the check because he did one between things. He never actually cashed the check for the, like, mock review. I think he said that before. But, like, at the very least, people are going to be like, hey, we want you to play our game, and then, like, we'll pay you money to, like, tell us what you thought of it. Like, I don't know. I don't know what he wants to do. I hope he knows and he can figure it out, but I also hope he can take some time to, like, chill and relax and, like, be with the family and do some silly stuff and, like, do some weird streams. Some, like, fucking, like, weird streams with a capital W. Weird. I don't know. I'm on a Discord with the dude, and it's been fun to chat with him about nonsense and very rarely about video games, which is awesome. That is important when video games are such a big part of your daily life, to have things that are not. To talk about that. It's been mostly wrestling. But yeah, at the end of the day, I hope everything's cool. Thank you for the follow, Mullick. And yeah, I hope that things work out for the old GB people. I saw there were some layoffs at the CNET side of the of what's going on. So no speculation about other things or other people or anything like that. But yeah, it's odd. It's an odd thing. Like for a very long time, we are a very long ways away from people, if ever, not associating Giant Bomb with Jeff Gerstmann. As much as there are eras of Giant Bomb for people, right? There are the various eras of it. Like for some people, it's like if it's not Ryan Davis, it's not Giant Bomb. There are some people that is their cutoff. There are other people that are like they miss the old days of insert person's name there. It's like, oh, I miss when like Drew was a guest on it. You always knew it was gonna be a good podcast when Drew would be a guest, or like, well, to me, like Giant Bomb is just like Austin, like breaking cool news, or for some people, it's just like. I miss Daily Dota. I saw someone put that in Nextlanders chat the other day that they miss Daily Dota. And I was just like, Giant Bomb is a lot of things to a lot of different people. Because, like, holy shit. Okay, I guess. Or for them, it's like, I miss the Beastcast. Or I miss when Patrick and Alex did like news and did like their like morning show. That was weird. That was a real cool time. Or like whatever it is. Just like I miss the dump truck or the predecessor for the dump truck. I miss like when it was just Ben and Jeff and Ben trying to use like everything and they were just doing like the after show, the aftermath. Like I know people like that's their Giant Bomb is like. Oh, it's Tuesday when you watch the Bombcast and then you watch the aftermath, and that's Giant Bomb. So, like, when Alex was the only New Yorker, yes, and the Chicago, there was Chicago Giant Bomb. You miss the energy, the sixth floor, yeah. Lucha D or the sofa, sure. I mean, there are different eras and different things that people miss about those things. Giant Bomb means different things to different people. I mean, folks, like. Obviously, being around for a long time means that I have a good memory. Like, it's not... People say, like, oh, well, it was only when Patrick showed up that, like, people were mean about who was on there. And I'm like, no. You fucking forget this shit. But people were mad about Drew being on the podcast, which I know sounds ridiculous. But there were people who were like, who's this Drew guy? It's just like... A video person? I mean, if that means Vinny could be in more things, that's cool. But, like, who's Drew? And it's just like, okay, I don't know what to tell you. But clearly Drew's awesome. Yes, and then there was that weird period where Patrick and like, Lang and, like, were doing weird stuff. And Max were doing things. And it was a whole thing. Drew Scanlon. I mean, yeah, Drew rules. But, like, there was a point where people were like, nah. I also know people that were like, why is Danny O'Dwyer in so many things? This was when Danny was still at GameSpot. People were like, "Why? Who the fuck is this Irish dude?" And then they're like, "Oh wait, that's the guy that's been in like, he's been a fan since there was a thing, just like the rest of us." Oh, that's cool. Intro Drew saved the endurance run, indeed. But there have always been this like weird thing around new people coming in and just like. And there are people who are like, you won me over. And it's like, okay. And then there are people who are just like, never gonna be okay with change. Or, you coming in means that the people they like can't be on as much. Like Patrick did an endurance run with Ryan. So that means that Patrick sucks. And it's just like, okay. Because I want these other people to do an endurance run. Not that they wanted to or had the time to do it. And him being there meant that it could happen, but sure. So people are just haters. Yeah, that's the other thing. Where it's just like, there's so much on the internet. Like, I don't know. Like, I can understand if you were unhappy with the direction of the premium stuff because the premium has been a lot of like, here's a show from people you don't know that isn't about video games. And maybe that feels weird because you like what you like, and that's not why you became a premium member, was to support other things that you don't have any interest in. And I can kind of understand that. But yeah, like Tamora and Lucy have been awesome. Jess is awesome. Things change. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's the thing, right? Because, like, Patrick wasn't going to be a podcast person. He was coming in to do news, but, like, kept getting into shit. And then that changed. Like, Drew was a video guy. Like, Jason, look, here's the thing. Like, when they were big and when they had grown enough and Jason came in, probably wasn't supposed to be on as much as he did. You know, involved in some stuff here and there, but certainly not on as much as he was. But then it's like, well, Jeff has someone to play fighting games with, so like there should probably be something for them. And then like, oh, well, Jason and Dan's dynamic is just like such a weird energy, unlike anything that's ever happened on Giant Bomb. So like, maybe find room for that. Remember when all the video guys were gone and Jeff had to be the video guy? I do remember that. It's very fun when you're like, oh no, what are we doing here? Yeah, and like I think a larger thing is, if you're not happy with a thing, you don't have to keep engaging with it. You can let it go. You know, like, a very small example is, I still have a lot of respect for Brian Kibler. I think Brian Kibler is a great content creator on Twitch and on YouTube. But I'm not interested in playing standard, like good meta standard decks in Hearthstone. So I'm not necessarily interested in Brian Kibler's content, because that's what he does. I watch some Hearthstone streamers and I watch some YouTube videos made by Hearthstone content creators of weird decks that they make for, specifically, I like watching people that make stuff for Wild. Or like, I watch a streamer that makes, he plays a lot of duels, and he plays weird decks in duels. I don't want to play duels, but I want to watch some people play duels, like, and I think that's a fun thing for me to check out. So I engage, and I'm interested in that. I still think Kibler's awesome. He's just not making the kind of Hearthstone content that I'm interested in, so I don't engage with his content anymore. But, like, that's fine. That's healthy. Instead of being like, I wish Kibler was making things that I like, I'm just like, keep doing it, dude. Enjoy. No. Well, Ranking of Evil, I have no idea if that was going to come back either way, because I don't know how any of these short-term small projects were going to go, because they all seemed like pilot seasons, like one season purchases, like short ideas, like proof of concepts, and then like continue what works. But I don't know. I never spoke to anybody about how those worked, other than I pitched an idea to Jan once of a thing that Jan and I should do at some point, and we should do that at some point. So I will, when things have settled down a bit, I will again pitch the idea that I pitched to Jan, which he was excited about, and we've never done, that I would like to do, because Jan and I have not worked together on a thing, and I would like to do that. That's not fair. Jan and Abby invited me to be on the last Giant Bomb podcast, PAX panel. So I have done that. I did their Variety Hour panel, which was excellent. Very fun. Yes. Yeah, I don't know. I think things will be different. I'm interested to see what they have to say about these things. I hope everyone does well. I have high hopes that Jeff finds something cool. I hope that whatever Jeff stumbles into is a thing that is forward-facing enough that we can engage and enjoy, because he has been a part of my weekly life for a very long time. And that's a weird thing, because I did say this on Twitter, but like, Giant Bomb is a thing that I've enjoyed, and then also I'm friends with people that work there, and that's weird. And I would like to do more things with my friends, but I also would like to see my friends succeed and do well. Yeah, so I do hope that whatever Jeff ends up in, it is a forward facing endeavor, and we can enjoy him. And I don't know what that is going to entail, but it is weird. I mean, look, it was weird when Nextlander formed because suddenly people that I knew very well for a long time were doing a new thing, and that's strange and odd. That was weird, certainly. And Austin leaving felt weird. Once I found out what he was doing, I was like, oh, yeah, you gotta do that. Yeah, you gotta. Patrick leaving made sense and was a bummer, but I understood at the time. Like, Ben, totally understand. Abby, totally understand. It is not my place to say anything about anything. I can only tell you about my feelings. But, Abby Russell deserves the fucking best. I hope she's feeling okay because she is recovering from COVID. But Abby Russell deserves the goddamn best and certainly deserves better than a lot of what she got. So yeah, I mean, I understand everybody just being like, this isn't for me. Jeff is still going to be a threat. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm not going to get into specifics about that particular thing, because there's a lot to unpack with it. But one thing I have been very happy about is that, I don't even know her as a person. I can't speak about Jess other than what I know of her. And a thing we won't do is, again, we're not going to make presumptions. We're not going to make assumptions. But Jess is a very opinionated person, and I'm so glad that we are seeing her be an opinionated person, because it fucking sucks because dudes get to be very opinionated on Giant Bomb, but statistically, ladies don't get to have an opinion that doesn't agree with the opinions that other people have. As far as a vocal portion of the audience is concerned, and that sucks shit. And that will always suck shit. But yeah. Basically, I hope things go well for it, because there's still some dads at Giant Bomb. There's still two dads there, so want those dads and grads, want things to go well for the people. And we got one of my favorite things in a Lego set, folks. I haven't talked much about this Lego because we've been talking about other things, but we've got right now we've got the colored Lego pieces that we won't see that we can just put in. One of the best things about these kits is just hey, let's just use these brightly colored pieces because no one will see them. Yeah. Yeah, I always said that, Saints Row the Third has a lower rating than Saints Row 4 on Giant Bomb because Alex did not love Saints Row the Third as much as other people did. Even though the Third is better than Saints Row 4. Because different people have different opinions on things. So, yeah. And, it's a site, it is. People oh, I don't like this thing as much as you like this thing, and I don't agree about these things. Or hey, here's the thing. I don't like spooky games. So, Jess's favorite video game franchise is a video game franchise I have never played, and I will never play. Because I don't like spooky shit. And I don't play horror video games. So, sorry. That's just like not going to be a thing. That doesn't make me think any less of her as a performer and a person and a person that's talking about games and presenting games. It's just like a fact that like her favorite video game franchise is a thing that I have no interest in. But that's okay. I also don't like racing games. So like, sure. People talk about racing games and I'm just like, yeah, okay. All right. I hope it's good. I took place in the Sega versus Nintendo Wars child. Yeah, I mean like console wars I've never spent any like real time with because that's just never been a thing. Like I got a Genesis because my cousins had a Genesis and we all wanted to play NBA Jam and we got that for the Genesis. But I had a Nintendo first, an NES. And then I just bought whatever I liked and I used to have a lot of the consoles. I mean, I went heavy on the Dreamcast because the games look real fucking good. And also you could just burn CDs of the games. So you could just have burned games and play them. So the Dreamcast fucking kicked ass when I did not have a lot of money for video games. But yeah. That's all right. I played thousands of hours of League and you should not do that. Yeah, I mean, sure, exactly. You know, we've all got our things and our things. Like we're just like, you know what? I can't throw stones. I like this thing. Yeah, totally. Dreamcast is still an MVP. I mean, yeah. Especially when you got the ANSI pad adapter so you could use the Saturn 6-button controller, and that's the way to play fighting games, my friends. You gotta get the 6-button Saturn controller to play fighting games on your Dreamcast. That's the only way to do it. That was real good. It was real good to do that. It felt real good doing that. Yeah, you get an adapter so you could use the Saturn controller, and it was great because you had the actual 6-button controller, and also the Saturn controller was good. They did make Dreamcast controllers that like the third-party controllers that had the 6 buttons. Those were fine, but that was really where it was at. Now, obviously, it didn't have a VMU, which so you can't have your Chow Garden hanging out with you, but still good. Okay, so we're gonna take a pause for the cause in a moment. I'm gonna just wrap this up with this. Thank you for not writing your fan theories and your fan fiction about people in chat. I appreciate that very much. That shit's going to be in a lot of places. It's going to be in Nextlander chat. It's going to be in Giant Bomb chat. It's going to be in Jeff's chat tomorrow. You are going to see people fan casting folks' lives, and please do not give in to that. Please find in Discords, yes. Please allow yourself to wonder, to think about like possibilities, but don't, in the same way I've always said, Mary Kish isn't going to join Giant Bomb unless Mary Kish joins Giant Bomb. Don't worry about it. Or like, this person's not going to do this. This person's not going to come back. This person's not going to work there. These people aren't going to do. This isn't going to happen. These things aren't going to be that. Don't worry about it until it happens, and then you can be concerned about it. But these fan things are like writing fan fiction about real human beings, and we don't need that shit. Your life will be easier if you don't worry about it. Believe me. Oh yeah, interviews for Paul were great. Yes. Jeff's interviews with Paul were always fantastic. Because those were the times where he could let loose a little bit and talk about things he wanted to talk about and also talk with an old friend. Those are great. Those are great podcasts. Hollywood Gersman. Yeah. NWO. Gersman. All right. So, okay. If you are new to the stream, this was a weird one to start with. I was building a Lego set and barely talking about it, and we were talking about someone you may or may not know. But one last thing before we get into the pause for the cause and me talking about ways you can support the channel and all that stuff, which we will do right now, is Uh, literally the day that everybody left Giant Bomb to then form Nextlander, Vinny came into chat to take his mind off of things, and we were talking about him leaving. And I have... So, if you didn't think that I was keeping an eye on users in chat the entire time, just to make sure that Jeff hadn't showed up, I was keeping my fucking eye on that shit. Because it's already happened to me once, and I refuse to let it happen to me again. When I noticed that he was in chat, I immediately felt terrible. And then just said, hey, Vinny, we're going to be talking about this thing. Sorry. That happened. And now I press sneak fuck. Yes, I will never let that happen again. Because holy shit, did it feel weird. But yeah. We talked about it later. And I was like, hey, sorry. He was like, oh, I just had it on while I was doing other things. Sometimes I watch. And I'm like, yeah, that's cool. Sorry, we talked about you and your friends. My friends as well. Now he's trapped in Final Fantasy 14. Indeed. Okay, so Dirty already threw them in there. But let's throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Site, the Moat, folks. We're transitioning to me talking about myself a little bit, which I obviously haven't been doing for an hour. I'm going to throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe, the Tier 2 emote, Wristfan just put in there, the blue emote, me as Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan, or Super Saiyan Blue, Pat Bear. Becoming a subscriber, you get those emotes. Becoming a subscriber is an easy way to support what I do. You could use your Prime Gaming token, like we saw tonight, with Sharks 2K and Lashbrook used their Prime Gaming token, or you could use just cash money, become a subscriber. Subscribing, again, easy way. We're trying to hit 45 subscribers. Would love to do that. You could gift a sub to somebody in the community. Dark Web Prosciutto gifted 5 subs, which was fantastic of Dark Web. Appreciate that very much. Drop those subs in. And we also got some bits and coins that came in tonight. Some cheers from Harold and from Lord Crashington. And they're the top of those leaderboards. And yeah, basically, you become a subscriber. You don't see ads during the stream before the stream starts. You don't get like me cut off and then suddenly you have to watch like an ad. It sucks. And you support what I do. There are various other ways to do that. And I'm going to talk about them. All the things I'm talking about for the next few minutes are optional. You obviously don't have to do any of these things, but if you wanted to, it would be great. I have a Patreon at patreon.com/PatBear. There's a $1, $3, $5, and $10 tier. Different rewards for the different tiers. If you just don't want to ever have a credit card associated with Twitch, that's another option. You can go on the Patreon route. You can do the thing that is co-owned by one of the guys in a cover band, Pampalus, whose name I've never been able to say. The band that sounds like it's a seltzer drink. Yes, that the other Jack, not the Twitter Jack. The other Jack is the guy that co-founded Patreon. That's a thing that not everybody knows. It is weird, so sometimes I just like to say it. Pamplemousse, I think, is the actual way to say the name of their band. Anyway, yeah, I got a Patreon. You can go in there and do that. Also, I have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/PatBear. And obviously, subscribing to YouTube is free, and please do, because I just put up a new video today that I think is good. I think all my videos are good. But I think that one is particularly pretty good. So take a look at that. I'll plug it in a minute. Anyway, you can become a member on YouTube. You get YouTube memberships, $2 a month. You get my Wednesday videos on Tuesday. I got a new video coming out this Wednesday that is video game adjacent. It's not technically about video games, but it's about a thing that is related to video games. Actually, it's pretty related, directly related to video games. Anyway, but that'll be Wednesday. And then also direct donations, because maybe once in a while you just want to throw me a couple bucks, but you don't want to support me monthly. You can't do a monthly thing. But once in a while you want to throw me a couple bones, I got options and ways for that. And everything I make through direct donations, through YouTube, which also includes AdSense, through Patreon, and through Twitch, all goes into buying model kits and equipment. I almost said model quits. These models don't quit. Model kits and equipment. So your generosity allows me to keep doing stuff. I bought this Lego set, with funds from Patreon and Twitch and all the other ways that I just mentioned. Also, I'm John. I'm glad you're loving the desk scythe. Enjoy having the desk scythe for all the tier 1s. Excuse me. I don't know the next time that I will upgrade, but it'll be a while before we add more emotes. Because tier 2 can only have one emote, and I like having one emote not everybody gets. It's something. It's a little thing. Anyway, let's see. Oh, so I said I know what I'm building next. I'm jumping the gun on my next kit that I'm going to build after this Lego set, because I want to build it because it's an entry grade, and I think it is doing a public service for me to know if this is a better entry grade or as good an entry grade as the RX-72, which is the one I always say that people should start with. I would like to know if the new Gundam is the thing to recommend there. So I'm going to be building that next. Now, the thing I build after that will be something for my backlog, or it'll be something for my Amazon wish list. You can buy something on wish list. I will shoot a video about it for my YouTube, and then it'll jump the queue. I have inexpensive Lego sets, some more expensive model kits, some very expensive, unnecessarily expensive model kits, some that have Amazon Prime shipping, some that don't, and then some gear at the bottom. Take a look at the list, see if there's anything you'd like to see me build, and then you could buy it, and then I'll build it on stream, because that's the best thing I can offer, is that you jump the queue and I shoot a video about it. Now, alternatively, I have a Throne wish list. I just updated that with a few new things. Throne is a smaller service than like Amazon, obviously, but they are a wish list provider that partners with a bunch of people, so you don't have to pay like a percentage fee, but you can also put in stuff that does have a percentage. But I just have that up there because I like what they're doing, and I want to see, support them by having a list there. And then, because they get a kickback from some of the people they partner with, so it's worth taking a look at. And then USA Gundam Store. This is the non-wish list option for supporting me with money. Is you could just buy a gift card, because they'll send you an email with the gift card code. It won't be a physical card. And then send me a DM on Twitter with that gift card code and be like, hey, Pat, blah, 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 you should buy a high grade with this, or build something from Gundam Age, and I'll go and see if there's anything that I can build from that or whatever. Gundam Age is probably... G-Reco and Gundam Age are the series that I have built the least amount of model kits for, because they didn't make a lot of them, and they're not always easy to find. But yeah, F91, I built like 4 kits from F91, so that is now above them. But anyway, those are just ways to support me financially. A way to support me that doesn't cost you a dime is, if you haven't already, join my Discord over here. Check the link to my Discord. See if there's, you want to join, you want to hang out. I post build photos at the end of every stream. People post stuff they're working on. It is a nice community of fun folks. So feel free to join there, to join them. Couple video links, and then we'll get back to Lego building. And we're going to talk about some manga and some anime. You're getting a twofer. Let's see. What are the video links? Oh, yeah. Pat Bear's Anime Club. I put up a new episode of Pat Bear's Anime Club up today. It's about Bleach, one of the big 3, along with Naruto and One Piece. It's part of the big 3. It's coming back in October. The final arc, the only arc that has not been animated for Bleach, will be animated. And I had some thoughts on that. I gave you kind of an overview. If you're like, I just never knew what Bleach was, I don't know who Ichigo is, sorry. There's a cat that turns into a lady, right? Like, that's the only thing you know about it? Sure. But maybe you're like, I know the word Bankai. I don't know why I know that, but I know the word Bankai. I talk about Bleach, and I also talk about why I'm, like, cautiously optimistic, because, like, the 1,000-Year War isn't great, because my biggest issue with Bleach continues in the 1,000-Year War, and I think it might be my next Pat Bear's Anime Club video, or one of the next ones I do, is going to be about the, like, main character the chosen one. My least favorite trope in anime, specifically in shonen, is the chosen one, because Ichigo is the fucking chosen one. Ichigo is everything to all people, and the destiny, and everything meant this, and this all led to that, and like the retcon flashbacks that happen in the 1,000-Year War to justify some shit is some like, man, you didn't think of this before. Come on. You thought of this later. Anyway, I talked a lot about Bleach in a video, so watch that. Please check that out. And then Pat Bear's, sorry, not Pat Bear. My name's not in this one. My last name is Do You Remembaer. Do You Remembaer is my weekly series. Every Wednesday I put a new episode up where I talk about something that I read on a website, often, almost always, it's been every time, Wikipedia. I talk about a thing. This one is the Ghostbusters ruling. Please check it out. It's about a lawsuit that an appellate court was just like, you know what? You have to tell people if you've publicized that it's... We're not going to say if you have to tell people if the place is haunted or not. But if you've been telling a bunch of people, like Reader's fucking Digest, that this place is haunted, then you have to tell someone when you try to sell them a house, hey, we've told people this place is haunted. You got to do that. So that's the court ruling. That's why if you ever seen a for sale sign and it says not haunted or haunted, that's why. Because people are like, I don't want to get sued if you find out this place is haunted and you didn't hear it from us. That's a whole fucking court case. So I talk about a court case, which I never thought I would talk about that, but I did. Anyway, we're going to talk about some anime, and then if there's time, it'll be Manga Monday should happen, because I do have 3 anime shows to talk about, but I don't have a lot to say about them, so I'm going to drink a little water. Hey, thank you very much for the follow, Baird. Appreciate that. Welcome. We're going to build some Lego. I'm going to talk about some anime, but I'm going to dramatically transition to the overhead shot right now. Transition. All right, let's talk about some anime here, and then we'll talk about some manga, because it is Manga Monday. But Manga Monday is supposed to be because sometimes I don't know what to talk about on Mondays because nothing happens and stuff happens. We didn't even talk about Cody Rhodes. Hell in a Cell was a bad pay-per-view full of, yeah, of course this is the outcome matches. We'll talk about Cody Rhodes on Thursday, I guess. I don't know. Everyone fucking got injured last week. Every wrestler got injured. Every wrestler got injured. If you have a championship belt, you have gotten hurt. Yeah. Anyway, apparently if you rip a pectoral, if you rip your pectoral off the bone, it can't get any worse. You can't hurt your pectoral any more than that, and that's why he wrestled last night, which is nonsense because you can hurt other things. Making me look at the bruised man. God damn it. What are we doing? Cody Rhodes. God damn. Yeah, get fucking healthy, dumbass. Jesus. Sorry, I went on a tangent rant. So let's talk about Spy Family. Yes, indeed, Lord Crouch did. That's why I don't want to talk about it anymore. Let's talk about Spy Family. So we ended on a cliffhanger. Yuri, who is Yor's brother, was like, well, if you're in a relationship, you should just fucking kiss right now. He's a little drunk, and he's just like, you should kiss and prove that you're in a relationship, because I don't buy this. You don't look like a couple. And so they're like, meanwhile, Yor's also a little drunk, and she's just like, yeah, all right, we're going to do this. Anyway, they're going to kiss, and then Yuri's like, actually, I don't want to see you kiss. And then Yor accidentally slaps him, and then he's just like bleeding and also feeling weird and awkward, and so he runs away, and he's like, well, I don't accept him as my brother-in-law, but he seems like an all right guy. Meanwhile, Lloyd is like, this dude is definitely in the secret police. Also, is my fake bride in the secret police as well. Is she involved in this? Does she know what her brother's up to? I'm starting to suspect her. Also, there's a very cute moment. There wasn't a lot of Anya in this, but there was a moment where Anya, using her powers of telepathy, learns that her uncle, who she didn't meet because she fell asleep because he got there late, is in the secret police, and she doesn't know what that means, but she does think it's very exciting. So she's just like, how could you not wake me up? And he's like, did you really want to meet him that bad? So hopefully they'll have a very fun interaction at some point. Anyway, Lloyd suspects Yor's motives. I mean, she did agree to this fake marriage, and it was like, it's like, okay, well, I don't know what's going on here. Anyway, they put a listening device on her, and hear her, like, you know, she's feeling stuff. She's going through some stuff. She doesn't feel quite right. And then Lloyd and Frankie, who's his partner, disguise themselves as the SSS officers and interrogate her to try to figure out what's going on and figure out what's going on with her brother, to at least see, like, what's up. And she's just, like, emotional. And Lloyd is like, all right, I don't think that she knows what's going on. I don't think she's up on this shit. So, all right. And then they have, like, a really nice heart-to-heart. It's good. I mean, I might be skipping a couple things here and there, but they have, like, a good interaction and kind of reaffirm, like, what they're up to. And then he destroys a listening device, and he's just like, hey, you just have to be comfortable, and, like, it'll work out. You don't have to be the ideal wife and mother. You don't know how to do that yet. So don't worry about it. And it's good. Everything's great in this relationship, except for the fact that he's a spy, she's an assassin, the daughter is a psychic, everyone's got secrets, no one's telling anyone anything. Other than that, everything is peachy keen. And of course, it can all unravel at any point. Oh, also, her brother is, you know, a secret police guy, and is looking for Lloyd. Not Lloyd, but, like, Lloyd's spy identity. That's like the number one person that they're after. So, like, shit could get bad. Okay, and then we had a lot of drama in Shikimori's Not Just a Cutie. A whole lot of drama in this show. This is one of my favorite shows this season. I would love for you to check it out. Spy Family, also real good. Shikimori's Not a Cutie. The girl that was, like, the volleyball rival early in the season that was just like, oh, this person's, like, animated really well. I bet she'll be important later. She is, because she has had a crush on our dude Izumi for a while. And she never said anything. She didn't make the move. Because, you know, she just didn't. And then he started dating Shikimori. And she's like, ah. And she's been feeling terrible about that. But she's, like, trying really hard to be, like, the bigger person. And kind of, you know, be the noble person, I guess. And most of this episode is Shikimori not letting her do that. Shikimori, like, notices, like, immediately, like, oh, you also like my dude. Like, I get it because he's my dude. But, like, I didn't mean to hurt you with this. Basically just, like, gives her permission to feel bad about it. Now a cutie and not a cutie. It did. Like, here's the thing. Shikimori is a cutie, but she's also a badass. And part of being a badass in this instance is being incredibly supportive and giving the girl that also likes your boyfriend a shoulder to cry on, because even if she likes your boyfriend, she's punishing herself to try to like distance herself, to not get in the way. And also, Shikimori is the only one who knows. So she's like, part of being a badass is also, like, not considering this woman your enemy, just somebody that, like, it didn't work out for. And it's nice. It's very cool. And then the next day is Shikimori's birthday. It's also the end of the festival because last year they started dating on Shikimori's birthday, but Izumi didn't know it was her birthday. And it's because, like, I guess 2 months after that, he was like, he asked, like, hey, when's your birthday? And she's like, oh, it was that day. He's like, what? So he's had a whole year to be like, I'm doing it. Like, his nervousness, like, I'm getting her a gift. His nervousness, like, there's a very fun scene of him, like, being so nervous and stumbling over his words, trying to, like, buy a gift for his girlfriend. But he does. He gets her a gift, and it's a heart. It's like a silver necklace with a heart on it. And he puts it on her. And they reaffirm their relationship of like, she's like, you don't have to change. He's like, no, I'm going to become stronger. So you don't have to, you can relax around me and you don't have to worry about me as much. And it's sweet. They're very sweet. They just, confirm their feelings for each other. And it's a nice little episode. And yeah, I think it's like, this show is very sweet. And they have been in a relationship since episode 1. I just opened up Crunchyroll to look for this, and it was the featured anime. Yeah, Sharks 2K. Shikimori's not a cutie because, like, she's so cool and is such a goddamn badass. I think that people who don't often watch a lot of romantic comedy anime or don't think romantic comedy anime might be for them have, like, given it a chance, and I hope they're enjoying it because it is really good and very fun. Like it is a fun show, so I hope people are giving it the proper chance. It's animated really well, and the voice talent is really good. It's the first main series for the guy who voices Izumi. This is his first he's had voiceover role. This is his first lead role, which is great for a nice boy, unassuming main character. Like he is. But yeah, Shikimori's not a cutie. Real good. The show that I can't convince you to check out, and I understand, because when I say the name for it, a bunch of people will be like, nope. It's an isekai. It's called Trapped in a Dating Sim. The world of Otome games is tough for mobs, which is a mouthful. A dude got trapped in a dating sim that was made by people that don't make dating sims because it's got a lot of action and it was like way too focused on being an RPG, and and he hated all the main characters. He was forced to play it. Now he's trapped in it. He considers himself a mob. He considers himself like a background character, but he's the main character of this story now. Anyway, shit at the fan in this one. Shit at the goddamn fan here. We're at episode 10. This was like the first show of the one of the first shows of the season, so we're almost done with it here in June. But it's a school trip, and he's got who should be the villainess, but he's made friends with her. His relationship with her is strained, and his relationship with the girl that should be the main character, the romantic lead of it, but for some reason isn't, because he hasn't really rectified why that is. He's like, okay, I'm they've been estranged, and he's kind of trying to distance himself from them, and their relationship is tough. But maybe things are working out a little bit better. They're all at the shrine. They all get some gifts. It's a good moment. Before I continue, I do want to say, here's one of the Easter eggs in this kit. Why does this kit have a butcher knife? It's got a green butcher knife that I'm going to put here, and then this. Why the front blade? You can see it in the photo here. I'll make this bigger. You can see it here. Oops, nope, that didn't work. That's the wrong one. Is it this one? Nope. God damn it! I wanted this to be smooth, and it's not being smooth. There it is. Okay. You see this here? This blade right here? It's the Tesla emergency door release plan. That's the front of this that's the blade. That's a knife. That's this. This here is that. Why is that? Why do they do that? Why is it a neon green butcher knife? That doesn't make sense to me. But that's one of the surprises is like, I just like that. Like, you're driving this fancy car, and at any point, a knife could just fly at you to cut bugs. It's just a strange little thing. Some people who have built this kit were like, Pat, there's a weird Easter egg in there. And I was like, is it the fucking butcher blade? Yeah, the answer is yeah, it's the butcher blade. Anyway, it's just weird. Okay. Back to Trapped in a Dating Sim. Anyway, they get these things. Shit hits the fan. We're going to get our, like, I don't know if this is going to wrap up in the next 2 episodes or if this is going to be, like, leading into a sequel that may or may not happen. But an event that's supposed to happen at the end of high school suddenly happens. So our main dude who, like, knows the video game is like, what the fuck? Why is this happening now? Anyway, there's this... there was a part of the kingdom that became independent, and they have control of monsters, and they're like, hey, guess what? We're attacking you now. We're part of we were part of a duchy, now we're an independent country, and we're attacking you. The former villain, Angelica, gets kidnapped as a hostage, and the other, basically... They want to stall for time so these monsters don't just attack people. So all of the nobles that are there get told, like, hey, you got to fucking fight. And they're like, no, what? Why would we fight? So with a hostage, it's going to be difficult for... the gear shift being a microphone is also great. Oh, yes, this gear shift is a microphone. That's the other thing, is the gear shift is this piece here, because they give you a duplicate here, a spare. This is a microphone. It is a microphone for a minifig. So now our guy has a microphone, and that's the gear shift right there. That is also a thing. I forgot to say that. Thank you, Sharks2K. Anyway, Leon is a high-ranking noble, so he's just like, hey, all you nobles, we're going to fight. And they're like, what are you talking about? We're not going to risk it all. He's like, well, you can either be murdered or you can die fighting. Which one do you want? And he's like, the reason why I can look down on you is I'm an actual accomplished adventurer, and you are the descendants of adventurers. All of the nobility were once, in the past were adventurers and made a name for themselves and started their own kingdom. So, like, fuck y'all. And basically goads / threatens them into fighting. And they're like, we're going to show that country, and then we're going to show you. And he's like, great, whatever it takes. And then there's like a noble, Deidre, and she's just mad and also horny for Leon because he was so rude, and it's just like, okay, sure. Anyway, the princess that now has Angelica, Angelica is just like, well, doesn't matter because I control all these monsters and I'm gonna attack Leon, so it's fine, whatever. There's 2 things about that. One, they don't know that Leon's got a cool flying bike that has been modified. So they don't know it's been modified. And 2, it kind of doesn't matter because Leon is also probably knows about this flute that controls monsters. He should be aware of it because it is a thing in the end of the game. Now, is he going to be able to compensate for that? I don't know. But he should be at least aware that, like, oh, yeah, I don't have to worry. I'm going to have to worry about that in the future. So we'll see if he does have to worry about that shit. I need 4 of these. So these go on. Okay, so... Wait. Wait. This goes on this. This goes like this. And then these go in front of it. Okay. Sorry, there's like black on black here, and it was a little difficult for me to see where these pieces were supposed to go. Actually, this looks wrong. Yeah. Does that go lower than that? It's there. That goes there. These go here. Sorry, everybody. You'll have to give me a second here. That goes like that. And then these go in like that, but they're lower. Is there anything that goes on top of those? Yeah, occasionally these are like hard to... Okay, I might have missed something here. Yeah, is there 2 layers of that? No, okay, no. That goes like that. That goes on there. And then that goes next to them. So that can go there. Yeah, I can't tell what I do wrong here. This goes like this. And then are these in line with each other or not? Sorry, everybody. I really am like very confused about this particular part here. This goes like this. Maybe these are just lower. Yeah, it's really hard for me to see if these are supposed to be lower or not. There's also... Where's this, like, down here? No? That's like that. Oh, wait. And that goes like that. Oh, okay. Wait, but that doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. God damn it. Sorry, everybody. This really doesn't make any fucking sense right now. I'm going to take off all of this because it doesn't make any sense to me. I'm going to use the part separator here. Should I do that? Sorry. He's going like this. I might have missed a step somewhere, and I think I did because this doesn't feel right, and so I'm just pulling back a bunch of these pieces while I try to figure out what I did wrong, and it's not, the angles aren't great for that. All right, so that's going to be lower. So these want to be lined up. Oh, I know what happened. I put these on wrong. These are all wrong. These parts are wrong. The green parts here are wrong. They should be like this. Maybe? Maybe the blue part, is the blue part wrong too? Oh. The blue is wrong. Everybody. I did it wrong. All of it is wrong. Not all of it. This is supposed to be here. Lined up with this. Got it. Okay. I feel like all the LEGO Speed Champion sets have this moment where you need to go back 4 steps to fix something. Yes. Yes, this was just like, this black line here is where all these parts are going to go, and I had this over here so that it confused it. It was just wrong. It was just like, I put things in the wrong place, and now they are in the right place. And that is great. Yes, and that is lined up with that, and that is lined up with that. Anyway... Trapped in a dating sim, shit's hitting the fan. We're going to get some battles. But I'm not too worried because even though it's supposed to be a battle, he wasn't prepared necessarily for this battle. Our dude is overpowered and is probably stronger than he was in the video game. So I'm not too concerned with this. I think everybody okay. Hopefully everybody will turn out great. And, all right, what we got going here? Okay. It's Manga Monday, everybody. So while I fix these mistakes I made, it's time to talk about some manga. I've got two, and also this time, no manhwa, just manga. I'm just going to be talking about two manga that I have read and that I want to talk about. Hopefully they will show up in Nightbot. Sometimes Nightbot takes a second. The first one is, My little sister stole my fiance. The strongest dragon favors me and plans to take over the kingdom? And then also, the exiled reincarnated heavy knight is unrivaled in game knowledge. One of these is an isekai, but the other one is not. And also, it's not a reincarnation story, which sometimes I also talk about on these streams. But this is not that either. This is purely a story of the first one here. My little sister stole my fiance. So this is similar to a genre of stuff you'll find in manhwa and also in manga. Of the nice girl that did everything right, but then got screwed over until she actually met a man or a family or a people, a country, people who are like, actually, you kick ass. Holy shit, you rule. So it's the like fairy tale of someday people will respect me and appreciate me. And maybe the person who has that won't feel like they deserve it, and it will take a long time for them to do it, but they will. Now, often those stories have a happy. They're happy until the people from the past rear their ugly heads and try to change it. And like suddenly, the person they thought was worthless isn't worthless. So they're like, "You actually have some value. So now you have to do this and this." And it could be bad. It could turn out bad. This one isn't necessarily that. So our main girl, she's like all her life just doing whatever her dad said. Okay, fine. I'll do whatever you tell me to do. You want me to be perfect so that I can marry the prince? Sure, I'll do that. Everything will be fine. Everything will be great. And then her little sister, who always gets what she wants, is like, but I want to marry that guy. I like the prince. It's like, well, someone from the family has to do it. So she's like, yeah, well, finally my little sister will be put in her place and we'll figure that out. No, they change it. And she's just like, well, I guess I'll just throw myself into the volcano then and be the dragon bride because you don't want me for this and this is all I've been working for. And she doesn't actually mean that. She doesn't actually mean, I guess I'll just go and sacrifice myself because that's the only thing I can think of to do now. But they're like, oh, that's awesome. And she's like, well, I'll do it. And she's like, for the first time in her life, she's not doing what she wants to do, but she is acting out. Because she's like, well, you'll stop me before I do that, right? They don't stop her. She's like, all right, well, great. Fine. I guess I'll die. And she goes through with it. And the dragon that is there is like, I didn't ask anyone to sacrifice anybody for me. What are you talking about? And they're like, yeah, well, it's custom. We do this, and then you'll protect the harvest, and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, what? You're my bride? I don't know what humans want. All right, fine. You know what? Sure. You're my bride. We got to go to my dragon shrine, because you can't live in this volcano, obviously. So come with me. I know a person who runs the forest and I protect it so we'll get you an attendant because I don't know what humans want, but I guess we're married now, so sure. Oh, also I have a human form because I can't be just hanging out with you as a dragon and I'm probably scary, right? I know humans are scared of me, so like I'll just be a man. That sound good to you? And then he's like, okay, well, yeah. Hey, this dude that protected you that's older than you is in love with you and showed up and challenged me to a duel? That's stupid. I won't kill him. Because, of course, the guy that's, like, obsessed with her his whole life and couldn't say anything, she disappeared. So he's like, oh, well, I quit. I'm going to go find her. And he's like, hey, I brought some people that I know because I'm not a court mage anymore. You won't send her away because she would hate that. She's like, fine. He ends up, our dragon man, because he can't relate to humans, but he does want to make her happy. He's just like, okay, well, you probably hate this country over here that, like, treats people badly and has treated these people badly that, like, you know, now live here. I guess I'll take over that kingdom so that people aren't sad anymore. And they're just like, no, that's a bad idea. Now we have to run this country. What are you talking about? He's like, oh, yeah, figure it out. And then she gets ordered to come back home. And she's like, okay, well, I'm going back to my home place, but I'll go as a representative of the new kingdom. And they're like, oh, she's a witch. There's no such thing as dragon. You know, she turned the life of this guy and did all this, so we got to kill her. And, of course, he shows up and he's just like, hey, what are you fucking talking about? You tried to kill my wife. You're not going to be king anymore. And they're like, what? He's like, yep, everybody who just tried to fight me is dead instantly because I'm a fucking dragon, and that's it. Now I am going to, I guess, be king. I guess I'm your king now. So I really like it because it isn't like a flowery romance story. I mean, it would be okay if it was. But it is way more action-y than it is romance, and I don't dislike that. I think it's like a fun idea to be like, actually, fuck this. Like, an ancient dragon wouldn't suddenly, like, be a regular human and help out with regular human stuff and just, like, he likes her, but he doesn't know how to, like, relate to her because he's a fucking dragon. And his ways to be helpful are dangerous and not helpful at all. And I think that's, like, a cool idea. I think I got through, like, 16 chapters of it, and there's more, but I'm going to have to buy them as individual manga chapters instead of, like, books. And so I have not, I think I will. I think I'll just buy them on Bookwalker, and even though I prefer to buy them as graphic novels, I don't think they will be offered as digital graphic novels. I think because it might be that the story's over. I don't remember. I have to investigate. But yeah, I might like have to go and figure that out. Did I do this wrong? You should read things again. Yeah, Jatsu, reading's good. No, I didn't. That's right there. Okay, good. For a second there, I thought I did something wrong on this, but I think I did it right. Okay. We're still doing more parts on here. We got a few more things to build on here on the side of this car. We won't finish this tonight, but we will finish it on Thursday. And after we're done with that, we will be working on our next kit, which is the new Gundam, the new Gundam entry grade. So we'll be building that next. That's the next thing on the agenda. Because I just want to see how that looks. Anyway, I got one more anime to talk about. Or sorry, manga to talk about. What am I saying here? One more manga to chat with y'all about. Once I put this on here. Because I knocked that off by putting it on. That's fun. And that is... The Exiled Reincarnated Heavy Knight is unraveled in game knowledge. And it's exactly what you think it is. It's an isekai. Where a dude is a heavy knight and he has knowledge of the video game, so he is going to be awesome and do cool things and earn money, and he'll play, even though the heavy knight is considered by society to be the skill set, the talent of losers and low class people, because we learn why. It's because it's a very difficult class to master, and in the game, it was a broken class that you had to be very particular about how to do. Of course, this is real life, so, like, people aren't going to train it. So anyway, our main dude was, like, in an important family, but then they found out this is his class, and they were like, get the fuck out of here. And coincidentally, as soon as he got kicked out, he remembered, oh, I've been reincarnated in this world. I'm a dude that played. This is a world based on a video game I played, and and I really liked this class, the Heavy Knight. So I guess the only good option I have is to become an adventurer to earn money and then level up with all of my game knowledge. And then right where I've stopped reading it, because that's where we're caught up with it, he has met a young lady who is a jester, and she's got like good luck when it comes to finding drops, but she's otherwise kind of useless and has been mistreated. And he's like, don't worry about it. It's awesome that you're here. I can't do all this alone because a Heavy Knight can only do so much on their own. Party up with me. And she's like, yeah, but I'm bad. And he's like, no. All you have to do is trust me. She's like, are you hitting on me because I'm flattered? He's like, no. I want you at my party. I think you're great. And they are. They're working well together, and she's like doing some cool stuff, and everything's working out. I will say, what sets us apart from other stories that are very similar to this? Nothing. Really. The only thing is that the monsters are fucking gruesome. Because the first things he fights a lot of are, like, ghouls and demons. Not demons, ghouls and skeletons and stuff. And they're fucking gross looking. He fights this one thing that is, like, awful. It's just disgusting to look at. And I appreciate that this manga is like, hey, these things are gross, and he's got to and they could kill him, and he's got to fight them. Because it's not going for like karate survivalist in another world. I think that's the name of that manga, which is like really a really brutal tale. It's really like, what happens if you are like a survivalist martial artist and you are suddenly in a fantasy world and you don't know magic, but you still have to like fucking survive. Like that one is a real, like, kind of going for the reality of that world. This one isn't going that deep, but I do appreciate that it's like, hey, these monsters are fucking terrifying looking. You gotta kill them. Oh, I think that's cool. So I've been reading that. I'm going to keep reading it. It could get certainly less good. Like there is certainly a possibility that this could be not as good because wait. Ooh, did I fuck something up? Where's this piece I need? There's definitely a possibility that this could be not as good because just like it could get too bogged down with this like new girl that's in the crew. Like it's definitely possible that could happen. I am missing a piece. I'm going to look underneath, see if I no, I didn't kick it over here. I need this piece, all one piece, to go here, and I only have this, which is not the same size. So I might have put a long white somewhere, which doesn't make any sense, because where would I put that? Or I dropped it on the ground or something. Knocked it on the floor. No, Karate Baka Isekai is a different story, Dirty. That's the one where he's the karate idiot in another world. That one that one's goofier than the survival martial arts one, because there is a isekai about a survival martial artist who is just doing whatever he can to survive in a fantasy world. That one is brutal. But that one definitely goes for the brutal side of this thing. I can't find this. I am looking for a piece here that I can't find. I can't find it. And I don't know where it went. My only thought is I'm going to look ahead to see if I use this piece, because maybe I was supposed to use this somewhere else and I fucked up. This is why you should only do one bag at a time. No, I'm going to need that piece. That goes on here. Okay, so I don't know where I used that by mistake or if I knocked it to the floor, But this is a good time to stop for tonight because I can't find that piece and I'm going to need it. So I don't know what I did with it. But I am going to need this here. Like, I don't need it, but, like, it'd be weird without it. So I'm going to look through the bags that this came in. I'm going to look on the floor. But yeah, we're definitely done model kit building tonight. I was almost done with doing Lego and building, but now we're definitely done with that because I don't know where this piece is and I don't want to continue without it. So we made some very good progress on this. We're going to finish this up on Thursday. When's my next stream though? Wednesday. Come on Wednesday. I'm going to try Teardown. It is a game that I have purchased and I have loaded to make sure it runs. We're going to be looking at mods. I'm not going to do the regular story for that because fuck that. I'm going to mess around with a bunch of mods and try not to, like, make it crash, like make the game crash or anything. So we're going to be playing that. I'm looking forward to it. I hope you'll come and check out the stream where I play Teardown. We are also going to raid. That is how we're going to end this stream and every stream is we go on a raid. We're going to go find someone cool out there to go and give some support to. Because that's cool to do. So let's see who's out there doing stuff that we want to go hang out with. We're just going to go and check out my Twitch list here to see who's streaming. And we want to go, we got that, we got these people. Have we raided them in a while? Who have we never? Let's raid Joe. Well, we'll see. Well, let me see how long Joe Kim has been streaming for, because Joe sometimes streams early, and then I don't want to raid him. Oh yeah, no, he's been streaming for a while, so we're not gonna go raid Joe because I don't know how long he's gonna be streaming for, and I don't want to do that thing. Thank you, Harold, appreciate that. I don't want to do that thing where we raid and then like he's like, all right, I'm out, bye everybody. So we're not gonna do that. Let's see. We're gonna go raid Mary Kish because it is Merry Monday. Jordan streaming Minecraft. Yes, Jordan is streaming Minecraft, but we did pretty recently raid Jordan. I like Jordan a lot, don't get me wrong. But we did pretty recently raid Jordan, and it is Monday, and we do almost always on Mondays find ourselves raiding Mary Kish because she does stream on Mondays. So we're going to go raid Mary Kish, who's playing Card Shark, a game I just heard about not too long ago and thought sounded pretty elite. Pretty elite. So we're going to go raid that because Mary rules, and I think you're not playing a card shark. You're not playing someone who cheats at cards. You're playing someone who helps someone else cheat at cards. So you're like doing stuff and being devious, and I think that's very fun. The dog walker, Mary Kish, indeed. Thanks so much for being here, everybody. Thanks for people that haven't been here in a while. Thanks for coming back. New people, if you're here because I got raided at the beginning of the stream and you stuck around this whole time, thank you so much. Have a great night, everybody. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.